It's one of the biggest, I want to say, it's probably
do auto ship, because then you get to secure that savings forever.
Yeah.
92470. Thank you, Kim. What time are you back in the morning?
8 a.m.
Okay.
8 a.m.
Sounds good. Sleep fast.
Thanks.
I will see you again tomorrow as well. Have a great night, everyone. Here's Adam with a beautiful absolute.
When it comes to storybook romances, a little fantasy goes a long way. Introducing a ring fit for a princess. Absolute's 4.5-carat cubic zirconia cushion and round 3-stone ring. The 14-carat yellow gold plated sterling silver band goes with every outfit, whether day or night. Take your wardrobe into princess territory. It's romance, it's fantasy, it's time to be a princess at any age. Go right now to hsn.com to get yours.
Question for you. Have you ever been in a storm and you were not prepared? I'll raise my hand. Raise your hand at home if you've ever been through that. It's a hot mess. It's very scary because say you're in a horrible snowstorm, and I know that New York and Philly and DC right now just got hit with about 10 inches of snow. Or say you're in a tornado, a hurricane, a mudslide. It does not matter. We cannot prevent these storms from happening, but we certainly can get prepared. And so the last time Hurricane Irma hit in 2017, it was a horrible thing for me. I was not prepared. I'm telling you, it's the scariest thing where you're told to evacuate, you go into your cabinet, and there's no food in there. You go to the store, and there's no food in there. Well, guess what? I will be prepared this time because my husband and I are ordering this. This is a Wise Company 158 serving of emergency preparedness kit. You get all of this, 158 servings. It's enough for one person, it'll last you 30 days. 2 people, 2 weeks, and a family of 4, it will last you 1 week. And look at all of what you're getting. It's absolutely wonderful, and it tastes wonderful too. This is creamy pasta, creamy macaroni, pasta Alfredo. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in Stephanie Roberts because it's absolutely amazing, Stephanie, all of what you do, what you get, and the fact that this is delicious. I don't get how it can last for 25 years, Steph.
Oh, I am going to tell you all about it. Because here's the first thing. Delicious is the key. We are talking about cheesy lasagna that you have in your cupboard whenever you need it. All you do is add water. It doesn't even have to be hot water. We're using hot water because it makes it a little quicker to come to fruition. And let's be honest, every meal tastes better warm. Right. But in an emergency, room temperature, stone cold from the sink. This is food that tastes decent. So have a bite of cheesy lasagna.
This is cheesy lasagna.
Cheesy lasagna.
And this is new, right?
This is new to our buckets.
Okay, I haven't tried this yet.
This is one of the most popular meals that is in the Wise.
This is good.
You like that? Would you ever know if I just handed you that?
I can actually taste like a little garlic and some tomatoes.
Okay, you got it.
I can tell what it is.
And that is what Wise is all about. It is not just emergency food, because I know that conjures up that image of ew, right? I mean,
this is good.
You have to admit, when you first heard you were going to do this with me, because we haven't done this together before, you probably thought, oh, great, I'm going to eat something kind of bland, kind of tasteless. I've heard this before. It's okay. I'm not offended. Because you do think of emergency food as just the stuff that really you'd rather be at the very last resort before you'd eat. Erase all of that, because Wise emergency food is gourmet emergency food. And the difference is how it's put together. Wise employs chefs that come up with these amazing recipes that, as Debbie said, you could taste the garlic in the lasagna. You can taste the oregano, because guess what? You're supposed to. These meals taste like they are supposed to. So that is step 1 in what makes Wise different. But step 2 in what makes Wise different is the technology and the science behind the packaging. These products are packaged in what's called a modified atmospheric package. And what that means is these pouches, they are extremely smart in how to seal out things that make food go bad. They seal out the humidity, they seal out the oxygen, and because we are keeping out all of the stuff that makes food go bad, we are able to keep the food inside these pouches safe for you whenever you should need it for up to 25 years. 25 years, and cheesy lasagna tastes the same as it does right now.
It is very, very good because I'm a foodie, right? So I can honestly say that this is good, that it's delicious. It's edible, because a lot of times when you're getting something in, you know, if they're in a power outage right now. What if they had to get something out of a can? It doesn't taste so good, and it's filled with so much sodium and preservatives. What I like about Wise Food is they don't have to elevate that sodium and all the preservatives because of their special packaging.
Right, the package is the difference. A lot of companies and a lot of foods, and even things that we buy in the grocery store shelves in cans, you know why they're in cans and why they last is because they put in all that stuff.
Right.
We'll read the ingredients back here. There are no bizarre ingredients here.
You can pronounce it.
Exactly. You know the food that's in here. It's the same food that you would use to make it at home. The difference is this pouch keeps it safe. So
and my kids would eat this. I just had to say that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mine have.
You know?
And I don't tell them. And that's what I want you to do. Bring it home, serve it to your family, and do not tell them it is emergency food that came from a pouch. They will never know in a blind taste test that that isn't lasagna, that I actually layered up and then put in the slow cooker and then dished out. You didn't have to
doctor it up. You don't even have to doctor it.
You don't have to doctor.
Because what I like is the chefs actually created this. So you get 158 servings. I'm telling you, during Hurricane Irma, I was crying. I'm just going to admit it, because I was so unprepared that we didn't have the food. We had sardines and tuna that my 6-year-old would not eat because we were not prepared. Look at all of what you're getting. And this is like 70 cents a serving. 70 cents a serving. This is $109.95, so we've knocked $50 off the HSN price. But get this, if you were to actually order this on Wise Company's website, it would be nearly $400. So there is a $300 savings if you get it from HSN. And I really encourage you, if you've gone through anything before in life, some major storm and you weren't prepared for it, just do it. Get it over with so that you are prepared. This is a customer pick for a reason. And this is all of the severe weather just from last year. You know, the weather's just been crazy in the United States. Look at all of the severe weather. I mean, I've lived in Texas where there have been tornadoes. I've lived in Oklahoma where there's tornadoes. I've lived in Indianapolis with the snowstorm. So if you've lived anywhere, now I'm in Florida where the hurricane season, and it can be actually very scary. You can never be too prepared. You know, we can't be without food. We just can't. We can't be without food and water. And this is just fantastic. And I wish I had gotten this because we showed it a couple of days before Hurricane Irma and I didn't order it. I will not be caught off guard again.
Ah, that's right.
I will not be.
And you know what? Sometimes the timing of when we're able to do these amazing deals is eerie, because we were doing this right before Hurricane Irma. And today we're coming off the 4th nor'easter in March, as I know all of our East Coast friends.
This is a meteorologist, by the way.
Yes, I am a meteorologist.
Stephanie is a meteorologist.
I follow the weather very carefully, but also I'm a mom of 5. And like you know, storms are scary. I do want to point out, as we keep putting these meals together for you here, though, that all I'm doing is adding water.
That's it.
It does not have to be hot water. We have heated our water up a little bit because they do come to fruition a little bit quicker when the water is warm. But these will reabsorb in stone cold water, in tap water, in any kind of water, as long as it's safe to drink. That is all you need.
That's all you need.
So you mentioned that when we do our storm preparedness, I think by this point in life, we all know we have to have an adequate water supply. So we want you to have the gallons, have the bottles, whatever you're storing your water in. So all you do is take that water, put it in any kind of vessel, and add your food, and you're done. It does not need to be cooked. And a lot of the competition does.
Yeah, this is, I have to tell you, this is not hot. This lasagna is not hot. I took it from there. I didn't wait for the hot lasagna to get ready, and it's still good.
That's right,
it's flavorful. That's what I want to tell you, is the flavor.
Because you know what? Let's be honest. We all eat cold leftovers out of the fridge on occasion.
Oh, cold pizza.
Exactly.
Cold pizza,
in an emergency situation, if your meal is not piping hot, but the flavors are there and it's room temperature, your family will be glad to have it. This is about insurance. We have medical insurance. We have homeowners insurance. We have car insurance. Do you have food insurance? Look inside your pantry right now. FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, wants us to have up to 2 weeks of food in your pantry. You were talking about sardines and tuna. Before Wise came to me, I was talking about peanut butter crackers and expired cans. Because cans expire way before 25 years.
You don't keep up with it. I mean, look at, you know, the Wise 158 Ultimate Preparedness, the fact that if one person can be fed for 30 days on all of these servings, 2 people, a husband and wife, 2 week supply, and if you're a family of 4, It's a 1 week supply, and that's all you need sometimes when you just have to get up and go. If there's a flooding situation, you immediately have to evacuate. You know, if you live up in California with all the wildfires and they make you evacuate, sometimes you don't have time to go to the store. And when you get there, like when I got to the store, I was shocked in Florida. There was nothing on the shelves. And a lot of people were telling me, don't worry about it. They always say these hurricanes are coming. But that Hurricane Irma, I mean, it was supposed to wipe Florida off the map, right? And I was just kind of laid back because I was a former news reporter, been in a lot of storms. But when that sucker hit and they said, to get the heck out of Dodge.
They weren't kidding.
I was stuck like Chuck. I mean, there was nothing in the store.
Exactly. And you know what? When you did leave, because when you're told to leave, you have to leave.
You
and we
have
know
to
that.
leave.
Whether it's a hurricane, whether it is a fire, as we've dealt with out west, with the snowstorms, you're not leaving, you're hunkering down. But regardless, you've got to have food. So let's talk about what is coming to you today with this deal. 158 servings in a seriously hard bucket. And I want you to know that because as we get toward hurricane season a little bit later in the summer, grabbing and going is part of the deal. And I love the fact that this bucket is waterproof. It is bug proof. I can sit on it. I can stand on it. It is sturdy. So the bucket alone is a great tool to have. Within the 158 servings, we are talking about 11 different, let's call them lunch and dinner type entrees. Satisfying, hearty meals. And I will take a tour down the table and show you more about them. But it's also coming with 3 different types of grain cereals, which give you that carbohydrate kick of energy, which I love. Also, they're very comforting. They taste great. So that you can start your morning with something very normal, like oatmeal. You can continue on because, you know, let's be honest, kids need normalcy. Have some mac and cheese at lunch, have some stroganoff or lasagna at dinner, and suddenly nobody really realizes that things are a little bit different than they should be. I also like that there's the ability to make a yogurt. There's the ability to make vanilla pudding, which we will because it is heavenly. You have to have dessert. If you're not going to have power, something might as well be fun, right?
You gotta have dessert.
You gotta have some sweet. But 158 servings, again, that is enough for a family of 4 for a week, a family of 2 for 2 weeks, or a single person for up to a month. I like the fact that it is jam-packed. I like the fact it is real food. I like that I can grab and go if I need to. Or I'll tell you what I do with this. I've actually disassembled my kit and I've slid it in an under the bed box under my bed because the only requirement for the 25-year shelf life is to keep it in a cool, dry place. So I've got the bucket in the garage because I'm thinking in hurricane world where we live, if I need to store water, I'm putting water in this because I'll have it for the food and then I've got the food stored wherever. But put it in your pantry, put it under your bed, put it wherever you need it. This time of year, all you folks dealing with snow and ice, and I know the calendar says spring started yesterday, but apparently Mother Nature isn't playing because
in Alabama, there were tornadoes.
Absolutely.
There were just tornadoes in Alabama, so shout out to Alabama. I hope you're safe. And I mean, it's tornado season. So, and tornadoes, you know, growing up in Texas and also living in Oklahoma, you have to just get out when they say that, you know, there's a warning and it's about to hit. I mean, sometimes we hide in closets and all of that, but look at the damage that it can do. So when you need to leave in a pinch in the middle of the night, grab your kids and maybe you're, you know, taking care of your elderly mom and all of that. You don't want to have to be concerned about, oh my goodness, I'm out of soup and I'm out of this. You just grab this bucket and go. This is a substantial bucket. This is 158 servings and it's free shipping. So get this home on the flexible payments. It's only $22. Basically for you to have peace of mind. That's what I call this because I did not have peace of mind and I won't go through that again. So we're ordering this. I knew it was going to go on sale again. Normally it's over $150. So the fact that you get it home for $109, and just think about it, if you purchase all of this separately, you know, you're going to the grocery store and the retail store, it would be $274 if you purchase everything separately. So you're already saving more than $160 when you consider, you know, the IPS, which is if purchased separately. And I want you to hear from a testimonial. So you don't have to take it from me or Stephanie. I want you to hear from somebody, you know, who basically has been through this, and just listen to what they have to say.
I mean, I don't have to add any other vegetables, any other seasonings. It's all in there. It's really easy.
You know, that part of your life is not going to be in some kind of upheaval. It's pretty much what mom would put on the table.
One of the coolest things about having an emergency plan is being able to check off how you're going to get your water, and how you're going to get your food. Because those two staples, once you've kind of put those in the back of your mind, right, and you know that those are already taken care of, then it leaves you a lot more bandwidth to focus on what else might be happening.
I love that thought because, you know, there's so many things that happen in an emergency situation. You're worried about your property, you're worried about your family, your pets. This is one thing you don't have to worry about. When Hurricane Irma came through our area, one of the things I heard most about people was having to bond together because maybe one neighborhood was farther out from where the issue was set to be. And we know that's happening with tornado damage and with snowstorms. Get 158 servings so that no matter the situation, you're set, the people with you are set, your family who may be impacted 20 miles away, you can go to them and help them be set. For this value, 70 cents a serving. I cannot drive through a fast food line and pick up a burger for 70 cents. Because when we start to look at the food, and we're gonna take a trip down the table here and show you all the different entrees, when I show you the size of a serving and the heartiness and the quality that is involved with each of these meals, you start to think about, you know what, this is such a good value on a night when I am way too tired or way too sick and can't get to the store. I pull out this cheesy lasagna at 70 cents a serving. And I'm happy to have it any day of the week. So,
or if you're sick. If,
that's an emergency. When mom goes down, that is an emergency.
There's a lot of people, a lot of you out there who have the flu. And I want you to call us if you've ordered this and share your story because it may not be a storm, the other type of storms when everybody in the house is sick and you just can't get out. Or maybe the weather's so bad that somebody can't come by and they said they were going to bring you some chicken noodle soup, but they couldn't make it because maybe the weather wasn't cooperating or they got too busy. This way you are always prepared. Whether you're at home alone and you get sick, you don't have to rely on anybody. You will have this to be able to open. The fact that you get 158 servings, you have enough if you're sick or if it's one of those busy, busy days where you're like, I don't feel like cooking, I've got to throw something in the oven and I hope my grandkids eat it. They're going to eat it. So get this home for $22. It's a huge bucket. It's free shipping. Take advantage of that because it's pretty heavy. So you get the free shipping involved and the $22 and just open up a pouch and try it because we want you to love it. So you have 30 days, but you have to get it home and try it because look at all of this food.
Now let's talk about all the different flavors because you're gonna be amazed.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm amazed when you look at the end results from what can come out of a pouch. So we're looking right now at the Hearty tortilla soup. Again, one of my favorites. Take a close look at this. You can see the corn, the beans. It's flavored and colored.
Look how thick it is.
I know, it is very hearty. And it looks like it's supposed to because as you pointed out, these are made with the spices that it's supposed to be made with. So Hearty tortilla soup, one of our entrees. We're also showing you the apple cinnamon oatmeal, and it comes with organic oatmeal as well.
That's shocking. That you can get the organic with this.
And you know what? That's a new addition. That's because one thing I love so much about working with the Wise Company, this is a U.S. company. They are homegrown, they are based in Utah, and they listen to customers. Customers said that cheesy lasagna was their favorite, so they put it in a bucket for us here at HSN. Customers asked for organic ingredients because you know what? That tells me we're not just using this in emergencies. We're using this because it's a great food source. It is convenient. So the oatmeal now in the 158 serving bucket is organic. Let's stop for a minute though and talk about the whey milk because as a mom, I absolutely love the inclusion of the whey milk. Here's how this works in my mind. You're off your game, you can't get to the store, you know the dairy is the first thing that they run out of and your fridge is down because of power, but what is milk to a child? It's a comfort. It isn't just the nutritional, obviously. It's that sitting down in the evening with mom and the milk, and we used to call them sippy cups, you know? It's just part of the routine. So Wise has put in ability to make 3 pitchers of whey milk. And that just helps me think that we can keep our routine as parents, as just make it as normal as possible.
Some normalcy.
Because kids know when things aren't normal. I mean, it's not normal to be sitting in the basement because there's a tornado warning. It's not normal to be in the house for 6 days because you can't get down the driveway. But these things happen. We as adults know that. Wise knows we need to keep our normalcy. So they've really thought about the ingredients of the bucket from that point of view.
Well, I think it's wonderful because just get it home and try it. There's something for everybody, even for vegetarians. We have some other products to show you if you just like all vegetables. I mean, we have everything from the yogurt to the pudding to the hearty meals like the creamy lasagna, even the Alfredo dish.
Oh, the Alfredo is absolutely wonderful. And when you say hearty, I do do want to stop for a second and show you some servings. So this is our beef stroganoff, which is one of my favorites.
Okay.
I'm going to divide this up into quadrants because we're talking about 70 cents a serving. Look at the size of a serving here. I mean, this is a deep bowl. We got a lot of food going here,
right.
you know? So when we are looking at 150 servings, that's not skimping, saying you're going to struggle to stretch that throughout your family.
Sure.
The servings are hearty. The food contained is exactly as you would hope it would be. And I got to show you this. We put water into our pouch of teriyaki rice, what, maybe 4 minutes ago?
4 minutes ago.
It has already reabsorbed.
It's ready.
It is
Okay.
ready to go. Now tell me, take a little sniff.
It smells like you're in a restaurant.
This is one of my favorites.
I was like, this is too good to be true. I seriously said that
I
to you.
believe you.
Was
I
like,
hear this a lot.
I had to tell this to Steph. I said, Steph, just tell me how this works. How do we explain this? But it's the way that they package it. That's why they don't have to put all of the sodium in there and the preservatives, and it smells like real food.
This
and it
smells
is real
like
food. It's
it
real
is real
ingredients.
food.
It's real ingredients.
This is like walking into your favorite Chinese restaurant, and I can't wait till you try the flavors, because this, to me,
it smells wonderful.
This teriyaki rice has the most amazing flavor profile when you think about the fact it came out of a pouch, because that's how talented the wise chefs are. And that is warm, I apologize. So give it a little blow. But yeah, within 5 minutes, this reconstitutes in water. Could you not eat a whole bowl of that?
I could eat a whole bowl of that.
I know.
I feel like I even taste a little bit of the mandarin orange flavor.
Absolutely.
You know how they, I taste that, and it has a slight little spice. I love that it's flavorful, because I just can't do bland food. I mean, look at me. I gotta have some good stuff. I can't do bland. So what you get with this is delicious food, quality food. It's really good warm. It's delicious at a room temperature, but it's really, really good warm. Because I had to taste that lasagna just at room temperature, because you never know. You might not have a stove or something like that.
And this is another one of my favorites. I'm going to encourage you to taste that one room temperature too.
So lasagna was my favorite, but I like some good aged food.
There's that teriyaki rice is good. We talked about beef stroganoff. This is one of the things, again, where I know Wise is really thinking about me and my family.
This is real rice.
Including chicken noodle soup, you know? I mean, let's think about this.
Right.
We're having a rough day. We just need something comforting. It's there. All you do is add water. It's there for 25 years. It's just like you would expect it to be, with the meat, with the noodles. I also like the creamy pasta rotini. And it's texture that I do want to talk about a little bit, because this one's going to be room temperature. And the
vegetables are crunching, you guys.
So texture's important. Think about why you don't like convenience food, because it's mushy.
Because it's mushy.
I'm a big texture girl. If something has a funky texture, I am out immediately. So I love the fact, try this one room temperature. You can trust me.
Yeah, no, I can do room temperature.
Texture-wise,
I eat cold pizza.
Tell me what you think when you taste that texture-wise.
The noodles are al dente.
They held their consistency.
That feels a little bit, but this is great.
This is the science and technology of the packaging. That the foods in here are the real deal. That's the creamy pasta rotini.
And the carrots are crunchy.
Everything
you
like
can
you
recognize the vegetables. I see peas. I mean, the fact that you can recognize the food for what it is. It's real ingredients, real food.
That's the chefs that get that done. But I gotta tell you, it's the technology that's the second part of the equation. This is what separates Wise. Chef recipes that taste great.
This is great.
We can show you that until we are blue in the face. But I want to show you that it is the packaging that makes this safe and such an amazing investment for you and your family. This packaging shuts out humidity, shuts out oxygen. It is what's called a modified atmospheric package. Wise has come up with the technology to have this packaging keep their great tasting food, great tasting for up to 25 years.
It's genius. I mean, it really is genius. And I want to go to Patricia, because Patricia has this. Good morning to you, Patricia.
Well, good morning. I am disabled, and this is wonderful for me. I have my emergency supply, of course, but I have my home supply that I use, and it really has helped me. But I want to give you a suggestion.
I would love that.
Okay, my daughter rescues lizards and little critters, and they have to eat fruits and vegetables, and they live in aquariums, etc. And the heat, if you put one strawberry in there, it will just mold in a couple hours, literally. But the dried fruits that you also sell?
We do. We're going to talk about those tonight.
Yeah, I had a feeling you would. I'm on my second box in a few weeks, because I've been giving them to her, too. And they make wonderful milkshakes. Take some of those strawberries.
I like that hint.
In their blender. Oh, my gosh. It's just like fresh fruit. But That is a really good point. You got to feed your pets too in rescue situations.
That's so true.
And
No,
try
very
getting
good
fresh fruits and vegetables. But just from now on, she's using the fruits and vegetables like this because it's less expensive, they last longer, less waste, and she can just feed them to the animals, you know, and put it in their aquariums and tanks, and they're all good to go.
Oh, well, thank you, Patricia. You're a loving person, because I love my animals too. So thank you so much, and I'm so glad you were able to feed your animals. And here's what Patricia is talking about. This is very limited. We only have 200 of these, so I would jump on this if you want to get the fruit. It's
And it's the fruit. You have your choice of kits, which is what I really like. Patricia was recognizing the fruit, which I'll be honest is our most popular, so jump on it. But for this deal, you have your choice of fruits, you have your choice of vegetables, or you have your choice of proteins. Okay. And we will step over and talk about those in just a few minutes. And in fact, I guess we're going to do it now, which I like. Patricia's making a great point, because when you think about the grocery store, when you think about the ways we first run out of food, you were talking about the shelves being bare.
Oh, it was so scary.
What's bare first? That perimeter of the store, because the trucks can't get in.
Right.
You know, even if the problem's not right in your neighborhood, and I saw a lot of news coverage in Alabama about this week with the amount of damage and the trees down, the snowstorms. We know our friends up in the Northeast and New England are going to have bare shelves down. Exactly. So you run out of fruit, you run out of vegetables, you run out of meat, which is why Wise has a protein kit. Sure. And you also then run out of anything that's refrigerated because you don't have the power. So Wise has put together these kits, which in essence help us keep fresh fruit, fresh veggies, and meats as part of our world. So I love the fact that we have our choices. I'm going to start with the protein that's in front of me. This is everything that comes to you in the protein kit. It is a variety of chicken and beef with different flavors, and then also rice. So it gives you the option to actually make it as a meal, because I've used one of the rice packets and one of the protein packets on top. So honestly, in a pinch, you could make this the meal. Sure. I like the flavorful meals of our 158 servings better, but in a pinch, you got starch, you've got protein, you are good to go. I also use the protein, because I have 4 teenage boys. One of those pouches is not feeding my boys. But if you add protein to one of the meal packs, you know how protein helps you stay full, it stretches the meal. So if you have a bigger family, if you know in an emergency situation you're feeding a crowd, add a protein kit, it'll go even further. So that's our protein.
Yeah, and I also love that if you're a vegetarian, it's so hard in a pinch like this, you're just not gonna eat and go through a drive-through and eat what you don't eat.
Exactly.
So you've got the vegetarians covered too.
Beans, broccoli, peas, and corn. You can either eat them snackable, right, dry out of your hand. I know a lot of our hikers and hunters, to get that carbohydrate kick, carry these with them. We haven't even talked recreationally how great this all is.
And there are only 100 left, Steph. So if you want the vegetables, I would snag it right now, because only 100 left.
And then the fruit as well as the bananas, the apples, the peaches, and the strawberries. Typically very, very popular. Those are addicting. And I'll tell you what, moms, you know about the chemicals in quote-unquote fruit snacks. You know what's not in fruit snacks? Fruit. So I like the fact that these are real fruit products. A lot of people divide them up, put them in lunches, use them hiking and hunting. And then these are the powdered eggs, another great protein source. Look at the amount that is coming to you. This is the ability to make 144 servings of powdered eggs. So here's my deal with eggs.
And we only have to tell them real quick, we only have 90 of these left.
Oh, okay.
So jump on the eggs if you love your protein in the egg form.
Well, think about this. Not only do we obviously use them as eggs because we like the protein and we like to make eggs, I keep these in my cupboard because you can open them and reseal them and use them again. Have you ever gone to make brownies and not had an egg? Right. This solves the problem. So keep these in your cupboard and you will never, ever, ever run out of an egg. If I can tell you how many times we'll make pancakes on a Sunday morning and I have to send somebody to the store for eggs. This solves the problem. You will have eggs on demand. Again, also very good for emergency, but very popular with our recreational hunting uses.
And very, very limited. So we've been talking about emergency preparedness, but if you're hiking, if you're going on a camping trip, if you're going on a road trip and you just, don't want to do the drive-through thing, you want to be healthy, this is healthy. Remember, this is freeze-dried, dehydrated, and so you don't have that elevated sodium, you don't have the any of that filler. These are real vegetables, real fruit, even the real shape. I mean, you can recognize this food. It's the real deal. So I love that this is healthy for you, where you don't have to worry about the sodium and all of that, which you do have to worry about in cans.
Exactly.
And, you know?
The health factor certainly more elevated here than from canned food. And then the other thing you worry about with cans is you worry about the fact that they expire. Have you ever looked at a can?
Have you ever seen one swell up? That's scary.
That is scary. If you've ever opened a can of something that is expired, that's beyond scary. It's disgusting. Yeah. So here you are getting 25 years of shelf life.
That's
so
amazing.
When we start to do the math, we are talking about the Wise Emergency Food 158 serving buckets. So that is 11 different lunch and dinner entrees like the Cheesy Mac that we're putting together now. All you do is add water. You do not have to use hot water. We are doing this on a burner simply so it reconstitutes a little more quickly, and that way we can do some more tasting. But in an emergency, tap water, room temperature water, water you pulled out of your bathtub, as long as it is drinkable, potable, and safe, it does not matter the temperature of the water. You do not have to cook this food.
Now, what are you making here?
This is a Cheesy Mac.
Okay, the Cheesy Mac. And
you know where I like this? Have you ever read the back of the blue box Cheesy Mac?
Yes.
That has more chemical names than I ran into in chemistry class in high school.
Yeah. You can't even pronounce them.
You know, and it scares me that we've probably all at one point in time fed that to our families.
Because when you have kids, you do things quickly.
So there's the difference. When you look at the ingredients of a Cheesy Mac from Wise, it is not the chemicals that are keeping this shelf stable for you. It is the packaging. That is the biggest difference with Wise in general. We are not counting on chemicals. We are not counting on preservatives. The packaging keeps it safe. The chefs put together this amazing recipe.
That's why it's so
that
good.
Cheesy Mac tastes great.
So good.
But it is the packaging that keeps it safe.
And Stephanie explained it very simply that this packaging, it prevents that humidity, right?
Humidity and
prevents the oxygen.
So
that's when you're asking, because I was like, this is too good to be true. I would be thinking the same thing of you. How could something last for 25 years? I'm not going to eat that. You can actually eat this. Trust me, this is a customer pick. We have sold so many of these. If you have the number, Rick, my producer, give me the number, because it's in the hundreds of thousands. Yeah, the total number, but we've sold 700, you know, just since talking, but I'm talking about since we first started showing Wise Company, we have sold hundreds of thousands, and it's because it's quality food, it's made by chefs, and it's healthier, and it's simple, and it's convenient. Over 200,000 emergency meal kits sold since the launch in April of 2014. Over 200,000.
And that makes me so happy, because that's people thinking about their families, their future.
Being prepared.
Being prepared. You know, we sell so many things here on HSN that I love to buy. I mean, I'm a huge shopper.
Oh, me too.
And so we know about the shoes, the purses, the bags. But this is something we can almost say you have to buy. You have to feed your family.
You do. You have to eat.
When you look around at how prepared your family is, should anything happen, should it be a weather emergency, should it be a financial emergency?
Sure.
You know, there are times, to borrow a phrase from Marlo, who I love to quote, where there's more month than money.
Oh,
you know, if you're in a situation where the paycheck isn't stretching, how great is it to know that you can put off going to the grocery for a few weeks?
And the winter
storms aren't stopping this year. We're in the midst of our 4th nor'easter in March alone. So March has had, I just saw this, more road and plane issues this year than we have in years and years and years. You know, so you never know what's going to happen. 2017 brought so many unwelcome surprises to so many different parts of the country. Exactly, but here's what you control. You can control being ready. This is a look at severe weather occurrences in the past year. Now, obviously, the eastern 2/3 gets a little bit more pounded by uncertain weather. But when I start to think about the things that do happen in the West, things like wildfires, talk about a time where if you could grab and go with food. I mean, my heart breaks when I see the stories about how quickly life changes when you're threatened by Western fires. Again, this is a waterproof, a bug-proof, sturdy bucket with 158 servings of food inside. That breaks down to 70 cents a serving for amazing tasting food. These are recipes written by chefs. This is one of my favorites. This is the Southwest rice and beans.
I'm from Texas. I love a Southwest.
You'll like this one. All I do is add water. It does not even have to be hot water, and I walk away. This food will reconstitute by itself. With warm water, and this is why we do have it on burners tonight, it'll reconstitute in 5 minutes. Stone cold, this will reconstitute.
I'm ready to taste something else. but while she's putting it up there, you should just know that if you've been thinking about this, just do it. It's peace of mind. I went through that horrible ordeal, if you're just joining me, with Hurricane Irma, just moving to Florida. I waited because everybody said it wasn't going to happen.
Right.
Just wait. And then when I got to the grocery store, everything was sold out, and we had to get on the road and drive a few hours, and I just didn't know, are we going to run out of gas? What are we going to eat? My child is not going to eat sardines, and that's what I had. I had sardines and tuna, and he was crying. It's just not a good situation. If you have a loved one who lives alone, get this for them. This is a wonderful gift of peace of mind, because should they get sick or they can't, no one can get to them because of the weather, because that happens a lot. You're worried about your mom or your grandmother because of, you know, these big storms, you can't get to them. So get this home for $22. And just think about this. If you were to just order this, say you're thinking about it, you're on the fence, you don't know how it tastes, I'm telling you, it's delicious. It's delicious for the type of food that you can add just water. No, it's not a big steak meal that you'd get at a steakhouse. It's not that type of food, but it is delicious, edible food in a crunch. It's better than what you get in the can, and it's better than what you get with those frozen meals. So just get a pouch home and try it. It's free shipping. You can return it. We have that money back guarantee. This is $109, and these are chefs. These are trained chefs who've come up with these delicious, flavorful meals, and the packaging is so important.
That's right, because this packaging is what they've called, it's been done in a modified atmospheric environment, which means they've created a package that shuts out humidity, it shuts out oxygen. Those are things that make food go bad, as you know from your own kitchen and fridge on a weekly basis. So Wise has been able to come up with a package that keeps fruit, that keeps protein, that keeps Southwest rice and beans safe, shelf stable for you for up to 25 years. I know it sounds crazy, but the taste is there, and Wise has put the technology here. This is the technology that's keeping it shelf stable. The chefs have made the great recipes.
It's great
so
stuff.
that you can figure it out.
I'm ready to taste some more.
Okay, I'm going to try to give this one more second here.
Yeah, if you were to go to Wise's website, by the way, this would be nearly $400. So it would be crazy not to get it for $109.
Absolutely.
I'm just telling you to try it just for peace of mind, because this crazy weather is not going anywhere. Everybody has something. I don't know if it's the winter storm, if you're living in the East Coast right now, or even in Alabama with the tornadoes that just hit. If you're living in the tornado alley, you know that you may have those situations where the electricity goes out. So just get prepared. It's the worst feeling in the world when you're not prepared. And I'm one of those loosey-goosey, go with the flow people.
I know, me too. I used to be, not anymore.
After the hurricane, honey,
yep, you learned.
I will be prepared.
Well, and here's the thing, you know, when you're talking about preparedness, you just kind of have to think about what's the need in your family. With 158 servings, you are so incredibly covered, whether you're a family of one, whether you're a family of four. There is a taste for everyone. There is a flavor for everybody. And it's just the ultimate feeling that you know you've made this great decision to bring this into your home. You know, I'll be honest, I'll admit I'm a big shopper. There's purchases that you make that you feel a little guilty about.
You do.
This is a purchase where you feel amazing about, because
it's
you
know
a need. You filled a need. And here's the thing, so
it's not
often,
a pair of shoes that you don't need.
So often we wait till the 11th hour. Don't wait until the storm is coming. Do this now so that you can sit back and worry about other things when the storm is coming. Okay, you were talking about wanting to taste something. I have to show you one of my favorite tricks with Wise.
Okay.
So this is included in our 158 servings. This is vanilla pudding, right?
Ooh.
It looks like, okay, fine, we all know how to make pudding. Well, I don't know. You know, pudding just sort of tastes like, if it's not, in my mind, cooked over the stove.
Oh, I smell
with
that
the egg
vanilla
yolks.
from
Okay,
here.
there you go. High quality vanilla spice. All I'm doing is adding water. I don't need an electric beater to do this. You can do it with a fork if you want. But within moments, the most amazing, and I cannot wait for your review, pudding comes to fruition. And again, this is just more about how Wise has figured out the technology to make great tasting food simple. You don't have to wait for a hurricane to make teriyaki rice.
That's right.
You know, when you have it in your home and it tastes great, you want to do it whenever you need to. You don't have to go through a big elaborate cooking process.
It could be a busy
to bring
day.
food home. And you know what I have learned by the fact that this is a customer pick? you're eating this. If it wouldn't be a customer pick if you weren't eating it. You know, read the reviews. They all talk about the great taste. And we're going to dish you some of that.
Absolutely. Where's that fruit? Can somebody bring me some of that fruit over there?
She's going to top it.
Can I sprinkle some of that fruit? Because we have wonderful fruit that we're selling as well.
So scoop yourself a little of that. Look at the consistency. Within like a minute and a half, I've got
crazy.
My correct consistency.
Real pudding. I'm telling you, you know, if you just think about anybody who's been to college and how much fake food we've eaten.
Well, we've talked a lot about this in college, though, and a lot of moms in our world, Callie being one of them.
This is good. Oh, my goodness.
This is addicting.
I have a sweet tooth. This pudding is limited. Is that what you said? The protein and the fruit are all getting limited. The protein, the fruit.
The pudding is in your 158 pack, I promise.
The pudding is included in the pack, but if you want to put like some strawberries on top, because we have strawberries with the fruit.
Good idea.
Get one of those fruit packs because you get strawberries, you get peaches, you get bananas, and this is freeze-dried fruit in its real shape, real size, real color. This pudding is so good. I'm
glad you love that. Hey, we mentioned college real briefly. Some of our hosts who you know well, Callie being one of them, she sent a pack of this, and I know Suzanne did as well, to her son at college. Because let's think about college kids and how they eat.
Because you're broke all the time.
And don't eat. Well, exactly. At 70 cents a serving, this is a really good value.
It's affordable.
For anybody who needs to eat. And obviously the answer to that is we all do. So the affordability is there. The taste is there. Right. Do you remember those 25-cent noodle packs we all used to live off of in college? I'm guilty as well. Okay, they tasted like garbage and they're terrible for you.
But you didn't, with all that sodium, and you didn't even realize it.
So for 70 cents a serving, send real mac and cheese.
True. I mean,
get that into your equation.
Even if you're trying to help your grandkid or your son, you know, get their first apartment, I mean, they need something like this. So when that paycheck doesn't quite stretch, they're not calling you because they have some food. They have some pudding, they have dessert, they have these wonderful savory meals. So they're getting pudding with this. How many dessert packets? I know we have it in here.
There's yogurt and there's vanilla pudding. So two different flavors.
Yogurt and pudding.
Two different flavors of desserts, plus the whey milk, plus 3 different types of breakfast cereals, apple cinnamon, maple brown sugar, and organic oatmeal, and then 11 different lunch and dinner style entrees.
Amazing.
I think the only ones we haven't talked about is there's a tomato basil soup that if you close your eyes, you think you're in a wonderful Italian restaurant. We're looking at the yogurt, the stroganoff, the whey milk, which is such a wonderful, wonderful comfort factor when it involves kids. You are tasting now the cheesy mac I spent 5 minutes, dumped in the water. We sat for 5 minutes, and there it is. Give it a little bit of blow, because that one is a little warm. These do not need heat to come to fruition, to reconstitute. We're heating the water today, make it a little bit quicker.
This is better than the cave.
Thank you. I was so knowing you were going to say that.
You know that blue box with that cave?
That is so better than the blue box.
Because my kid loves that. This is really good.
That's
he would
real.
eat this.
There's real cheese in there.
It's real cheese.
It's real cheese.
You know what? It doesn't taste powdery. You know how, well, some of those other brands taste powdery, like you can tell it's not real cheese. This is real cheese. Okay, I've got to get off of this because...
For 25 years.
Oh my goodness, 70 cents a serving. That's all I have to say. 70 cents for 158 servings. Phenomenal. We want to go with Katrine from California. Hi, Katrine. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. How about you all?
Well, I'm doing good. I have some hot macaroni and cheese. You want some?
I've had some. We were in the fires here in October.
Oh, no.
Okay.
And we were actually stuck. We could not get off our road. We live in the mountains.
Okay.
We were surrounded by fire, and our closest neighbor was about 1.5 miles away. And we brought this food, your emergency wise company, and we didn't have any electricity or water.
Oh, wow.
Hot water.
Right.
So we were able to utilize your product using cold water.
And tell us about it, Katrine. Did it work okay for you?
It was, at first it wasn't until we figured out how to actually use how much water to put in and how quickly we had to stir it to get it to come together.
Right.
But I tell you, for about a week, we were stuck up there.
Oh, wow.
And it really helped us because we could not cook. With the fires outside, we couldn't use our Weber's or you know, our barbecue.
Right.
And so we were literally stuck in one house. We got all the neighbors together, and we just survived on this and whatever other people had.
Well, Katrine, I'm so sorry you went through that, but I am so glad that you had ordered this after seeing the presentation, because it really is a lifesaver, don't you think?
Oh, it really is. It really is, because all our food in the refrigerator went bad. But we were isolated, and this was the only food that we had to eat. And so our neighbors and my family were able to kind of ration it out. And for about 5 days before we were rescued by the fire department, this helped us.
Well, I'm glad, and Katrine, you brought up a good point. You were able to share this with other family members. There's so much food here. I'm so glad you were able to, you know, survive on this and to be able to share it. And I'm glad you figured out how to use that water.
I know, it was quite fun. We made jokes about it because you stir it up and figure out just how much you could stir before it wouldn't get gummy. But once we figured it out, hey, it was delicious.
Oh, Katrine, I'm so glad that worked so well for you.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I'm glad that you're okay. I'm glad you're safe. I love hearing the story. Remember how many servings you're getting? 158 servings. For one person, that lasts 30 days. For two, it lasts for 2 weeks, and for one, for 7 days. And Katrine in California, and thank you so much for saying that, Katrine, she was able to survive on her food and actually share it with her family. So remember, it's 70 cents a serving. And what a great deal. We're knocking $300 off when you consider if you were to go to Wise Company's website, it's $400 there. We're able to get such a great deal here at HSN because of how many of you are watching and buying this, that we're able to, you're able to save $300. So get it home for $22. It is a remarkable, remarkable deal because it's free shipping, and it really is peace of mind and a lifesaver. You never know what type of situation you're going to be in. So we're going to come back. We're going to cook up some more food. So also available is the 118 serving meal booster pack, and this is also limited. Only 120 left of this.
Yeah, we're gonna go over and talk about that a little bit more and tell you exactly what is there. But it's a really great way to get a mix of protein and carbohydrates in just simple form. So great for recreational use.
And we also have a backpack for you that is wonderful. It's very, very limited, but it's an easy way to carry all of your supplies. There's some cool things in there like waterproof matches and a portable stove. And we have red and camouflage only. Well, actually, Camouflage just sold out. So if you think you want a backpack, this 5-day survival kit, it also has an emergency kit in there. It is a wonderful, wonderful item as well. We'll be back with more delicious food, emergency preparedness.
Don't miss a thing with our HSN app, available on Apple and Android devices. Get $10 off your first in-app purchase with code WELCOME10. Opt in to push notifications for early access to exclusive app-only deals. Shop faster than ever with exclusive new product videos, only on the iPhone. Watch HSN Live anytime, any place. And the new shop and search features make finding your favorites easier than ever. Search app on hsn.com to download.
Best in Beauty Week is back with colorful new ideas and straight-up favorites. The latest from brands you'll only find here. And exclusives from favorites you love, like Benefit, Elizabeth Arden, Smashbox, Virtue, Lorac, and many more. Come back every day for a limited-time steal up to 50% off. And get 4 FlexPay on all beauty all week long. Best in Beauty Week, only on hsn.com.
It's Project Central around here. With just a little imagination, some of this, a bit of that. The possibilities are endless. Whether you're just getting started or you know your way around a glue gun, we have the supplies and ideas to help get it done. Say YES to DIY at HSN.
options for you for emergency preparedness, whether you live on the East Coast and you're dealing with all the snow, 10 inches, or whether you're in Alabama with tornadoes. Everybody has something, and this is another wonderful option.
Exactly. So what Wise Foods does is they put together different configurations based on the needs of your family. And this is our 118 serving, we call this the Meal Booster Pack. What I like about it is it's a perfect mix of protein, which keeps us full, hence a lot of beans, and carbohydrates, which give us energy. So this is kind of a beans and rice mix. Very, very popular for hunting, for camping, for hiking, because here's the deal. If you are going out for any of those recreational activities, you've got to take something with you. You may only think it's going to be an afternoon hike, but it goes back to the same thing we talk about with natural disasters. Things happen. Darkness comes, you get lost, you get tired and can't go on, whatever the reason is. So just like everything else with Wise, these do not require anything but water. I'm going to put, and this is a great flavor, Texas girl, you'll love this, barbecued beans with bacon in it. So we're putting this in our water. It does not have to be hot water. We're simply doing that so this will reconstitute a little more quickly for us because it's more fun to show. But that is all we need to do. So when I'm talking about recreational uses, to carry a big pack of protein, to carry a big pack of carbohydrates, or if you've been watching the presentations for the 158 servings and think, that is just too much food for my world, or more than I can invest right now, this is a smaller option. And it's also a little bit simpler. You know, we're not dealing with, not everybody wants 12 different entrees and 4 different groups of cereals. So I like the fact that Wise just stops and thinks about the different needs in our different families. But this also does come in the bucket. And again, I know I keep saying how amazing these buckets are. To have something this sturdy, if you're keeping this, it's bug-proof. It's waterproof. If you're dealing with the flood, the food will be dry in here until you can grab and go. I do want to keep emphasizing, keep this in a cool, dry place. So that is not the garage in a southern climate, obviously.
It could be under the bed, like you said.
I like it under the bed. You know, you say you sleep with your peace of mind. I sleep with my food under the bed. You know, we know we're safe there. On the upper shelf of a closet, I mean, this bucket's a little more compact, so a little easier to store. Stick it on the top shelf of the guest room, and don't worry about it if you don't need it. But when you do need it, it is here. And with winter weather, I grew up in Chicago, and like watching cars slide off into snowbanks was just kind of part of the deal. And I grew up with a dad who taught me early on, you always carry food. We were living off of granola bars in that kind of situation. I'd rather have this. You know, but put packs in your car for the end of the winter season. Put packs in whatever you would use as your evacuation bag or strategy. You need food. It is one of life's requirements we can't change. So what we need to do is prepare. This is a little bit of a more manageable size where you can break it up, have a little here, have a little in the backpack there, have a little in the car, whatever the emergency situation is.
Yeah, a lot of you are getting ready to head on spring break if you haven't done it already. So you can have it for emergency preparedness, but also if you're taking that road trip, a lot of times you're told, hey, put the flashlight in the car, put the blanket in the car, but make sure you put the food in the car as well. You hear about people going off in those embankments. You never know what's going to happen. But if you can survive, you know, you have your food, you can survive. So this is going to last you for 5 days. And the fact that you get that pudding I was tasting, you get dessert. It's delicious. If you're a yogurt person, the yogurt is great. And then you're getting your protein with the barbecue beans. And these are flavorful. So you get this home for $17. This is very, very limited. If you've never tried Wise Company, I would start and get this home because this is a smaller one. This lets you know how flavorful the food is. It's delicious. It's prepared by chefs, and it's not elevated with the sodium and all those ingredients you can't pronounce. This is real food, real ingredients, and the fact that you're getting the protein, you're getting the rice, and you're getting dessert. It's wonderful if you're going camping or hiking or road trip, any of that.
Absolutely, and you make a great point of that. You know, we obviously talk about the things you can't control and don't know about when it comes time to Mother Nature, but you know, when we're traveling, you gotta have food, you know, and I'm pretty good about always having water. I think at this point in life, most of us are, but I rarely, when I'm traveling, keep much food in the car. So that if you were to be in any kind of situation, especially if you've got kids, how long does it take your kid to say they're hungry? About 10 minutes usually, you know?
First it's, are we there yet?
Yeah, and then the second one is, I'm hungry. So, you know, to have a pack of beans and rice where I can quick whip up something and to whip up a vanilla pudding all of a sudden is going to make everybody really happy.
The vanilla pudding alone is a reason to get it. It is such an incredible dessert. But the fact that we have this on 4 flexible payments and it's free shipping. Get this home, open up a pouch, and see what you think about it. If you don't like it, you can send it back and we will give you your money back. That's no problem because we want you to love it. But you've got to get it home to actually try it. Now, 800 have been sold so far with the big emergency food supply. 158 total servings. That means one person could live off of all of this food for 30 days. 2 people for 2 weeks, 1 person, 7 days. It's a phenomenal deal. Normally we have it at $150 and up. Today it's $109. We've knocked $50 off for you, in fact, and we've knocked $300 off. If you consider if you were to go to Wise Company's website, it would be $400. So what an incredible savings and value for you. 70 cents a meal. And don't forget your HSN card. We'd love to help you save money more. You can call us up. We'll help you apply for it. But you get $10 off if you get the HSN credit card. So if you're thinking about getting this, I would go ahead, get the credit card, knock it down even more. Because right now it's 70 cents a meal for that big pack.
Exactly.
If you get the $10 off, then it's like, oh my gosh, 55 cents a meal.
Yeah.
Did I do the right math? It's somewhere in there.
That was pretty quick.
Okay, I love this backpack.
I do too. So this is our Wise Emergency 5-Day Survival Backpack, full of the most amazing things that you may not have thought of, but Wise has.
Okay.
So I want to go over everything inside. It starts with packages of drinking water, and I love the fact that they're packaged. Remember, the same pouches that keep the food safe for 25 years keeps water safe and clean and compact. They're puncture-proof. You're not going to carry those bottles around. They weigh a ton. Carry water around in an emergency. Everything from playing cards to keep you busy, a first aid kit for the just-in-cases, Kleenex, because I can never seem to have enough of that around for my family, to a hand crank flashlight. Because here's the deal, we aren't going to have batteries in an emergency situation perhaps that'll last forever. This is yours forever. This alone is an amazing thing to put in. But this is where Wise has really put together all the different things they specialize in. An emergency whistle that also has a compass on the end, a flint on the side. It gives me waterproof storage. All I can do is think of those visuals from the flooding in Houston last year and how quickly things can become just absolutely dangerous and tragic. To be able to have all these emergency supplies in a backpack that you can grab and go. It comes with a little portable camp stove, so if you wanted to heat your water or you needed to sterilize something, you have the ability to do that. Matches, fuel tablets that work in the little stove, an emergency rain poncho. Also, this is the box that the stove comes in, so you can see that we're collapsing down into small, tiny items to carry. With it though, and here's where the value is getting great, we're getting 6 pouches of food so that you have the food to go, the water to make it, the mask if you're dealing with a smoke or dust situation, and then you get to the backpack. This backpack itself is worth the cost. Absolutely. Moms, you know this back to school shopping. I'm spending $65 on a backpack that doesn't have all these emergency and survival supplies in it. It's got, you know, the bungee to hold things, a million pockets on the side, large zip compartments, small zip compartments. It's neutral colored so that nobody's going to whine and complain about having it as part of their, you know, world. But more than anything, you keep this in your home. Mine sits in my entryway closet on the floor. It's tucked back. Should we ever need it,
on your back?
We grab and go. If you hike, if you hunt, if you camp, everything you need coming all together. And I also really love it for people that want to get in to recreational camping or hunting, because they may not know what they need, right? This is what you need. This is everything you've got, from the safety of the whistle and the compass and the portable fire to knowing that you may get bored and need some cards and maybe they're not familiar with emergency food, and knowing that all it takes is some water and a pouch of Wise food and you've got a great meal on the go.
Yeah, remember, this is a customer pick. Almost everything we've shown you tonight is actually a customer pick. You can read the reviews, but I'm telling you, you want to be prepared. Whether that's taking that fishing trip, if you're knowing you're going fishing, or hiking up in the mountains, you never know what could happen. The fact that you have a first aid kit alone, and food, and the water pouches is just phenomenal. It's a great value, $64.95, because you could pay that just for the backpack. And it's in a beautiful red, which gets you noticed if you need to flag down somebody.
Great point.
You've got that red backpack on. So what a great gift for somebody who fishes beaches or, you know, hunts. You know, Father's Day is coming up.
Good.
I would totally get this.
Graduation.
For graduation for nephews, just young men who love to go out. You know, maybe they were Boy Scouts and now they're older and they like to camp and they like to hike and do all of that. This is great. Not to mention throwing this in your car just to have for emergencies. I know you teach your daughters to have that cell phone and the flashlight. Also have this because you don't want them leaving the house and not being prepared. So less than 100 left. So that's not a lot. We already sold out of the Camouflage. So don't wait because we only have the red left and it is a customer pick. So go ahead and get this. I hope that you are going to be prepared for any emergency. Have that peace of mind. And thank you so much, Stephanie.
Great to be here.
Yeah, for coming here and for being so phenomenal. She's a meteorologist.